Imagine opening a birthday gift from your estranged son, a rare bottle of whiskey that gleams like liquid gold. But what if that gift was meant to kill you? This is my story, and it nearly destroyed everything. It was my 68th birthday, and the morning started like any other quiet day in my small house on Elm Street. The sun filtered through the curtains, and I sat at the kitchen table with my coffee, thinking about how time slips away. I hadn't expected any gifts. My family ties had frayed over the years. My son Ethan hadn't spoken to me in 3 years, not since his mother's funeral. Linda's death from cancer hit us hard, and Ethan blamed me for not doing enough, for working too much when she was sick. He moved away, married Sarah, and built a new life. Her father, Robert, my son's father-in-law, was the only one who checked on me now and then. Robert was a good man, retired mechanic, always offering to fix my fence or mow the lawn. Then the doorbell rang. A delivery guy handed me a package, no sender's name, just a simple happy birthday note in handwriting I recognized, Ethan's. Inside was a fancy bottle of whiskey, limited edition, the kind collectors dream about. I smiled for the first time in ages, thinking maybe this was his way of reaching out. But I don't drink anymore. After my heart scare last year, the doctor said no alcohol. So I set it aside, figuring I'd re-gift it. That afternoon, Robert stopped by with some tools he'd borrowed. "Hey Frank, how's the birthday treating you?" he asked, his face lined with that friendly grin. I told him about the whiskey. "From Ethan? That's something," he said, eyes lighting up. Robert loved a good sip now and then. "Why don't you take it?" "I can't touch the stuff," I offered. He hesitated, but then nodded. "Thanks, Frank. Sarah and Ethan are coming over tonight, might share a glass with them." We chatted a bit about old times, how Ethan was doing well in his job as an accountant. Robert left with the bottle, and I felt a warmth in my chest, like maybe bridges were mending. Little did I know that bottle held more than whiskey. It held a secret that would unravel our lives. Evening came, and I was watching TV when my phone buzzed. It was Sarah, Ethan's wife, her voice frantic. "Frank, something's wrong with Dad. He collapsed after drinking that whiskey you gave him. We're at the hospital." My heart dropped. I rushed over, mind racing. Robert was in the ER, pale and hooked to machines. The doctor said it looked like poisoning, something toxic in his system. Sarah glared at me. "What was in that bottle, Frank?" I stammered about it being from Ethan, but her eyes narrowed. Ethan arrived soon after, looking shocked, but there was something off in his expression, a flicker of something cold. As the night wore on, tests confirmed it. White snakeroot, a deadly plant poison mixed in the whiskey. Enough to kill. Robert was lucky, they caught it early, but he was fighting for his life. I sat there, stunned. Who would do this? And why send it to me? The police got involved, questioning everyone. I handed over the note, the packaging. Ethan hugged Sarah, whispering comforts, but he avoided my gaze. That night back home I couldn't sleep. Was this meant for me? Had Ethan tried to? No, that couldn't be. But doubts crept in like shadows lengthening. Our past arguments flashed back. Ethan yelling that I ruined his childhood, that I deserved to be alone. The basic truth hit me. Family bonds can break, and sometimes they turn toxic. The next morning, I headed back to the hospital, my mind a whirlwind of questions. Robert was stable but weak, tubes snaking from his arms. Sarah sat by his bed, holding his hand, while Ethan paced the hallway. "How's he doing?" I asked, stepping in quietly. Sarah looked up, her eyes red from crying. "He's going to be okay, no thanks to that bottle," she snapped. I felt a pang of guilt, even though I hadn't known. The doctor pulled me aside. "Mr. Dalton, the poison was deliberate. White snakeroot isn't something you find in whiskey by accident. We're reporting this to the authorities." Back home, I scoured the trash for the packaging. There, crumpled at the bottom, was a small vial, empty, with traces of a powdery residue. My hands shook as I held it. How had I missed this? I called the police, and Detective Reyes came over, a sharp-eyed woman in her 40s. She bagged the vial and the note. "We'll test for fingerprints and DNA," she said. "Any enemies, Mr. Dalton?" I hesitated, then told her about Ethan, our fallout, his resentment. She nodded, jotting notes. "We'll look into it." That afternoon, I drove to Ethan's house, uninvited. He lived in a neat suburb, white picket fence and all. Sarah answered the door, surprised. "Frank? Now's not a good time." But I pushed past gently. Ethan was in the living room, looking haggard. "Dad, what are you doing here?" he asked, voice flat. I confronted him about the bottle. "Did you send it? Was it meant for me?" His face paled, but he denied it. "You're crazy. Why would I?" We argued, old wounds reopening. He accused me of neglecting Mom, of being a lousy father. I left feeling worse, but something in his eyes, evasive, guilty, stuck with me. Days passed and the lab results came back. The vial had Ethan's fingerprints. Detective Reyes called me in. The poison matches what's in Robert. And the handwriting on the note? It's Ethan's. My world tilted. Why poison me? Advanced layers emerged. Ethan had financial troubles I'd learned from Robert before the incident. Linda left me the house and savings. Ethan got nothing per her will because of his past gambling issues. Was this about inheritance? Revenge for perceived slights? I dug deeper, checking old emails. Ethan had written bitter ones after Mom's death. You let her die alone while you worked. You deserve nothing. It built from basic resentment to something darker. Police searched his phone records, text to a shady contact about acquiring rare plants. The story advanced, not just a gift gone wrong but a calculated plot. Robert recovered slowly, but our family? Shattered. Sarah filed for divorce, siding with her dad. Ethan lawyered up, claiming innocence. But evidence mounted like puzzle pieces fitting into a horrifying picture. With the evidence piling up, Detective Reyes ramped up the investigation. She installed a hidden camera at my house, suspecting Ethan might try something else. People like this don't stop at one attempt, she warned. I nodded, paranoia setting in. Every creak in the house made me jump. Meanwhile, Robert was discharged from the hospital, frail but furious. He came over one evening, leaning on his cane. Frank, that boy tried to kill you, and nearly got me instead. We talked for hours, piecing together Ethan's motives. Robert revealed Ethan had borrowed money from him multiple times, never repaying. He's in debt up to his ears, Robert said. And he knows you're worth a bit after Linda's insurance. The advanced twist started unfolding. A week later, I found an envelope on my porch. No stamp, just my name. Inside was a photo of me opening the package, time-stamped the day it arrived. Someone had been watching. I called Reyes immediately. This is intimidation, she said, analyzing it. Fingerprints? None. But the photo's angle suggested it was taken from across the street. Ethan's old friend lived there. We questioned him. He cracked, admitting Ethan paid him to spy. Confrontation escalated. I met Ethan at a neutral cafe, wired with a recorder from the police. Why, son? After all these years? I asked, voice steady despite my racing heart. He sneered. You think you're the victim? Mom suffered because of you. And now, with her money, you live easy while I struggle. He didn't outright confess, but his words dripped venom. Gifts can be tricky, sometimes they bite back. The recording captured it all, including his slip about mixing things up for a surprise. Police dug into Ethan's life. Bank records showed withdrawals for rare plant purchases online. White snakeroot from a herbal site. His search history? Lethal doses for adults, untraceable poisons. It was damning. Sarah, heartbroken, turned over texts from Ethan ranting about me. He won't be around much longer. The story deepened from family feud to premeditated crime. But Ethan fought back, claiming I framed him, said I planted the vial. His lawyer argued coincidence. Tensions peaked when anonymous calls started. Back off or next time it's you. Reyes traced them to a burner phone bought near Ethan's work. We set a trap, luring him to my house under pretense of reconciliation. He showed up, agitated. This ends now, he muttered, not knowing cameras rolled. As he left, police stopped him, found gloves and another vial in his car. The web tightened, revealing not just anger but a plan for inheritance fraud. Advanced indeed, Ethan had forged documents to claim my estate if I died, naturally. The arrest came swiftly after that trap. Ethan was hauled in, protesting innocence, but the evidence was ironclad. Detective Reyes led the charge, searching his home while Sarah watched in tears. They found jars of white snakeroot in his garage, labeled neatly, and a notebook with dosages, 4RC, test run, and next to my initials, full lethal. Chilling. His computer had emails to a hitman for hire site, aborted plans before settling on poison. The motive crystallized. Debt from gambling, resentment toward me, and greed for Mom's inheritance he'd been cut from. Court proceedings began, a media circus in our small town. Ethan pleaded not guilty, his lawyer spinning tales of a setup. My client was framed by a bitter father, he claimed. But witnesses stacked up. The spy friend testified, Sarah shared the texts, and experts matched the poison batches. I took the stand, voice trembling. I loved my son, but this was betrayal beyond words. Ethan stared daggers, mouthing, "You'll pay." The judge admitted the recording where his veiled threats echoed. Twists kept coming. During trial, Ethan's accomplice emerged, a cousin I'd forgotten who supplied the plants. He flipped for a deal, detailing how Ethan ranted about making dad suffer like mom did. Sarah divorced him mid-trial, testifying against him. He changed after the will reading, obsessed with money. Robert, fully recovered, spoke too. That bottle was meant for Frank, but it showed Ethan's true colors. Outside court, threats persisted. A brick through my window with a note, dropped the charges. Police linked it to Ethan's jail calls, coded messages to friends. Security tightened. I installed alarms, lived in fear. But support came, neighbors rallied, Robert stayed overnights. The advanced narrative revealed layers. Ethan's gambling addiction stemmed from childhood trauma, my absences fueling it. Therapy records surfaced showing he blamed me for everything. Prosecutors built an airtight case. Attempted murder on me, assault on Robert. Ethan's defense crumbled when handwriting analysis confirmed the notebook. In closing, the DA said, "This wasn't impulse, it was calculated evil." Jury deliberated 2 days. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing 20 years. Ethan screamed as they led him away, "This isn't over, Dad." But for me it was a hollow victory. Family destroyed, trust gone. Post-trial I reflected deeply. Why did basic disagreements escalate to this? Advanced insights. Untreated grief twists people. I visited Linda's grave, whispering apologies. Robert and I grew closer like the family I lost. But scars remain, every birthday now a reminder of what could have been. In the quiet after the storm, life tried to normalize. Ethan appealed from prison but it failed. More evidence emerged like deleted emails plotting alibis. He got an extra 5 years for tampering. Sarah remarried, cutting ties completely. Robert and I shared holidays, toasting with soda, laughing about close calls. But peace? That's harder. Nights I replayed memories, Ethan as a boy laughing in the yard. Where did it go wrong? The moral sunk in, family isn't just blood, it's choices. I volunteered at a grief center helping others avoid our pitfalls. Basic story, a gift turned deadly. Advanced, unchecked pain breeds monsters. Justice served but closure? I built it slowly, therapy, new hobbies like gardening, no poisonous plants though. One day a letter arrived from Ethan. "I hate you but maybe mom would want forgiveness." I tore it up. Some bridges burned for good. Now at 69 I live simply, cherishing real connections. If you're watching, remember, gifts can hide intentions. Check them closely. And family? Nurture it or it withers into something dark. In the quiet after the storm, life tried to normalize but echoes lingered. Ethan's appeal dragged on for months, his lawyer arguing procedural errors, but the courts upheld the verdict. New evidence sealed it. Prison informants revealed Ethan boasting about his perfect plan to inmates. He got an additional 5 years for witness intimidation attempts from behind bars. Sarah, now fully divorced, moved states away, starting fresh with a new job and partner. She sent me a card once, "Sorry for everything. Dad's doing well." Robert and I became inseparable like brothers. We'd fish on weekends, reminisce about better days, and he'd joke, "Next birthday I'll send you socks, no surprises." But true peace eluded me at first. Sleepless nights I'd question my role. Was I too absent as a father? Linda's illness hit during my long work hours. Ethan, a teen then, felt abandoned. Grief counseling helped unpack it. Basic resentment festered into advanced hatred, fueled by his addictions. I joined a support group for parents of incarcerated kids, sharing my story. It starts small, I'd say, a missed game, harsh words, then snowballs. The experience taught layers. Poison wasn't just in the bottle, it was in unspoken pains. I wrote a journal, detailing from the gift's arrival to the trial's end, hoping to warn others. Advanced insights emerged, how financial stress amplifies family cracks. Ethan's debts topped $100,000. He'd seen my savings as his bailout. Now at 69 I've rebuilt. Sold the house, moved to a cozy cabin by the lake. Gardening became therapy, growing tomatoes, not toxins. Robert visits often, we play cards, watch sunsets. Forgiveness? Not yet for Ethan, but I've let go of guilt. The stories end. Justice prevails, but healing is personal. If this resonates, think about your relationships. Mend fences early. Gifts can symbolize love or hate. Discern wisely. Thanks for joining my journey. If you've endured similar, comment below. Support each other. Like, subscribe for more real-life dramas. Until next time, choose kindness. It might save a life.